Beloved community, I am excited to introduce Amanda Bedsaul, who is going to share just a few words about what it means to be a part of the beloved community here at St. Matthew's. Over the next 5 weeks, we will be walking through our core values and practices and having different people share their reflections. And so Amanda, thank you so much for sharing today. And so thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, St. Matthew's. This morning, I wanted to share about how God keeps bringing me back to church through community and connection when I keep finding excuses to walk away. I first attended church when I was 8 years old. My family had just moved from upstate New York to Kennewick, Washington. We didn't know a soul. Our search for connection and community led our family to Ascension Lutheran Church. I was baptized there. I served as an acolyte. I was confirmed in my faith. I was connected to community. Years later, when I moved from a job in Las Vegas to Seattle, I at least had family in town, my older sister. I had not attended church regularly since graduating from high school and leaving Kennewick, but being in a new city, I was looking for connection and community once more. I joined Central Lutheran, where my sister was already a member. I married my husband at this church 20 years ago this month. I participated in the community lunch program. I was connected to community. A few months before my oldest son, Mark, was born, we moved to Renton. I worked Sunday mornings and once again was not attending church regularly, but I still longed for connection and community. I stalked several churches over the internet, and St. Matthew's website beckoned to me. I especially loved that you advertise yourselves as an imperfect community, but I had a hard time getting myself into the actual building. Finally, when Mark was 4 years old and beginning to ask about that baptism event we had attended, the one where his cousin had been dressed real fancy and had water thrown on his head, what was that about, Mom? It gave me the push I needed to finally attend St. Matthew's. Mark and David were baptized here. Mark was confirmed in his faith. David is attending confirmation classes. Next month, we will celebrate 13 years of being connected to this community. I love that this community I feel at St. Matthew's spills out of our doors and beyond our four walls to the entire community, connecting all of us together. I love that in the midst of a very difficult year, we opened the church first to the Center of Hope and then to the free grocery in partnership with Sustainable Renton. We have not stopped being community. We have not stopped connecting. It has not been easy, but we can do hard things. One of the hard things I did last year was accept Pastor Casey's invitation to be part of forming an anti-racism group here at St. Matthew's. I felt God's calling in this invitation, a calling to work for justice and equality for all God's people, to have really difficult conversations about the trauma caused by racism and white supremacy in God's world, to turn my fear into action that will bring healing to God's people through our beloved community and connections. You might be wondering, what exactly does anti-racism even mean? It can mean different things to different people. So here are some of the members of the team answering the question, what does anti-racism mean to me?
Hello, my name is Nick Swanson. I'm a part of the SMART team here at St. Matthew's Lutheran Church. What do I think anti-racism is? To me, anti-racism is more than just not being racist. It's about doing our part to have difficult conversations with anyone from loved ones to complete strangers.
Hi, I'm Marisa Singleton. For me, Being anti-racist is deeply tied to the lessons of Jesus in Matthew chapter 22, which are that the greatest commandments are to love God and to love our neighbor as ourselves.
The way that I understand anti-racism is very much in the context of action. So it's not just about the way that I think, but it's about the way that I move in the world, the way that I interact with people, certainly, but also the way that I interact with systems.
For me, anti-racism means understanding how the structures and institutions in our country were created to benefit white people and to harm people of color and to keep opportunities away from them, and how those origins have been perpetuated even to this day.
Anti-racism is more than just avoiding saying or doing racist things. Anti-racism is actively working to oppose the racism in ourselves and the racism in the world around us.
What does anti-racism mean to me? It means acknowledging that racist systems built this country and they still exist today. That these racist systems benefit me as a white person, whether I see them or I ignore them.
Being anti-racist to me is much more active. It's activism, it's thinking, critiquing my thoughts, my beliefs. It's listening just deeply to my coworkers, to myself, to my family members, to my friends.
Anti-racism to me is about courage. It's the courage to look within yourself and challenge the biases that you have and some of the assumptions that you have. It's the courage to ask those around you to do the same. And it's the courage to stand up with those around you for good.